Hey guys, Kamina the coach here. I'm being extra lazy. I am not sitting at the table. I'm sitting in my recliner, so forgive me. I only have one hand available. Makes me feel some kind of way. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, I spent almost a decade living and working overseas. So, I started the channel initially for that. When I returned to the United States due to COVID in March of 2020, I've kind of redirected the channel towards helping people with adoption trauma and childhood trauma. Ultimately, just sharing the wisdom that I have gained from all the years of studying and then applying my studies to my life. So take it or leave it. I'm no expert, just is what it is. So without further ado, we are coming up on my 1 year anniversary of reunion. So I am a late discovery adoptee. I didn't find out till I was 32. I'm a transracial adoptee. I was adopted by a racist white family at birth who discarded me when I was 14. So my entire life, I've wanted a family. I wanted to get married and have kids, and it was almost a borderline obsession. Um, then when I returned back to the United States in March of 2020, life was just really difficult for everyone. So I didn't think that my struggle was any different from anyone else's. But on my birthday for January 2021, my birthday, I really sabotaged myself hard because somebody stood me up. And I put myself in a really, really bad situation. And it was so disappointing and so shocking that I said enough was enough, and I went ahead and did my DNA, found a search angel, and found my biological family, found my first family. I found my mother. My mother is still alive. My father has passed away maybe 7 years ago, something like that. Not long after I had found out that I was actually adopted. I wish I would have had the means to look for him then. Anyhow, where are things now? Do I regret it? Yeah, I just wanted to give a little update. So I do still talk to my sister and my youngest brother, though not as often. When we first met, we talked a lot, my sister and I. My little brother and I haven't really talked. He's in his 20s. We're separated by a couple of generations, so we haven't really talked, but we are connected. The older of the three siblings, I'm the oldest of the three that I've found, was in prison when I found them, and we just haven't really talked much since he got out of prison in August. Now, my mother, when I found her about 2 weeks after I found her, I wasn't interested really in finding her. I really wanted to find my black family. I wasn't really interested in finding her because I I knew what I was going to find. I knew I was given away for racism, and I knew that she was going to be to some degree racist, and she was, and so was my brother, whom she had shortly after she had me. A big tell that I was not important and I was not, it was probably something happened that was painful for her, but not something that she continually relived because she didn't even remember my birthday. Um, and it's hard to put into words how little I feel about it. And I'm not, and I often question myself, is it really that I don't really feel anything, or am I in freeze? And I really don't think I'm in freeze. I just don't really care. She reminded me so much of the woman who adopted me that I was so, and then about 2 weeks into our reunion, she ghosted me. Her and my brother blocked me on Facebook and on their phones and all that other stuff. And I'm honestly relieved. Actually, that's the only real feeling I can think of. Like, I'm relieved because I didn't have to do it, because I was with someone at the time who really values family and was really encouraging me not to cut ties, and just was like, no, that's your mom and blah blah blah. I'm like, it's my mother only by blood. And I know that that sounds really deep and I'm making it sound trivial, but it is. It's really trivial. We have nothing. Um, some of it, I found some good people. I found some not so good people. I found a rough history on both sides of the family. I think it was really healthy and healing. I definitely don't regret doing it. I have a sense of myself that I've never had before. It was not easy. I emphasize it was not easy. I was suicidal this holiday season 2021, from like November to January. I was in a bad space. Um but I'm good now. I can't say if that'll last forever, but I am in a good space now. I'm so thankful I did it. I have a couple of videos. I'm not going to go into the tools that I used. I did two videos on searching, providing all the resources to prepare for searching, because it's not a small thing. It's not. And I don't think that anybody is prepared for the amount of emotion that's going to come with it. It was hard. It was really, really hard. um it was hard. It was hard. And continues to be hard. So my mom's sister is friends with me on Facebook. um I've had to speak to her a couple of times about stuff because she's overstepping. I don't know. And I guess I should be thankful that people want to invite me in as family, but essentially we're strangers. So maybe someday we're divided by race and years, and I don't know. And desire, I don't know. They just kind of remind me of my mother, the reason she gave me away. Like, yeah, I don't know if we'll ever be able to have a relationship. My sister and I are very different. So my sister on my father's side, we're very different. We see the world very differently. But her heart is huge, and she welcomed me. She always knew about me and had been looking for me and been waiting for me, which is just fucking heartwarming, really. Sorry my language, but it's super heartwarming. We're really different, though. Really, really different. 43 years of growing up in completely different atmospheres and environment. And I gotta say, of all the things that I found, aside from, so the saddest thing that I found was that my dad was dead before I could meet him. He wasn't the greatest guy on earth, but I would have liked to have seen my dad alive. So aside from that, I don't look like anybody at all. My brother's got a couple of biracial kids. I think they're biracial, or I don't know, where he had them with a light skinned black woman. So he has like two daughters that resemble me a little bit, but really I think it's just more because we're biracial and not really because of genetics. Like, we have curly hair and we're like complected. We don't look alike, and it was disappointing. It was disappointing because I didn't look like anybody in my adopted family, and then I really didn't look like anyone that I found either. I was really pleased that my dad's brother could look at me and say, "Yeah, that's our kin," but I don't see it. My friend said that if I see them in person, she said it'll be things like the shape of our hands, or, like the size of our toes, stuff like that. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, so wow, this is my reunion journey update video. If you're an adoptee and you're thinking about beginning this journey, I encourage you to do a lot of research. I encourage you to have a very strong support system and to plan for the absolute worst thing you can think of happening. You just got to plan for it, expect it, and then if it goes better than that, then good for you. There's really, even with all the preparation, there's nothing that can prepare you for it. No matter how many podcasts you've listened to, how many videos you've watched, there's just no words to prepare you for it. But I think even when it goes badly, or what somebody would deem as badly, I still think it's very, very important to go through this, especially if you didn't get a good deal with your adoptive family, or you are struggling in life with just childhood trauma or emotional issues and things like that. So, anyways, just wanted to drop in and do this year reunion update and everything that's going on with that. I'm still in contact with a cousin on my mother's side and her sister, and then my father's side, my youngest brother and my sister, my uncle's wife, my aunt is on my Facebook page, and a second cousin is on my Facebook page, but we don't really talk that much. So, all right, that's it. That's my year reunion story. Not quite a year yet, but coming up on it. Until next time, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. Kamina the coach. I'm out.